Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between.
We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives.
By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us.
My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane.
My name is Ashley Lanive. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good.
We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us. Hey guys, so welcome back.
Hello.
Today we are going to talk about the feedback that we've been getting from our episodes that we've published so far. A lot of people have been asking us about our family's reactions to some of the things that we've said. We've shared a lot of dirty secrets and talked about some sensitive subjects, and you'd actually be quite surprised at the variability of the feedback that we have received. And I think the people that you would probably expect to be mad are not quite the ones that are mad at us, right?
Yeah, no, we ruffled very little feathers, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I will say that we have a bottle of Dom on chill because we will be celebrating our first cease and desist whenever that arrives.
Can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm sure
we'll
it'll be
frame
coming.
it. We'll hang it on the wall, and then anytime we want to refer to that person, I'm just going to point to it.
Yes.
So you might need to watch on YouTube for some of these people.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So let's get into it.
All right. So the first person who was surprisingly not upset, but it just kind of took them down like a rough road of memory lane is the best way to put it, was Dad.
Yeah. He's sensitive.
He is. He's such a little bitch sometimes. I'm like, I love you so much, but like you got to toughen up every day. He just turns into Freddie a little bit more. But he wasn't upset at all about anything that we said. It just made him rethink how things were, and so long ago, because things have changed so much since then, and just kind of was opening his eyes to what our perspective was during a lot of these
I think like
memories.
Us going back and talking about especially like how the divorce impacted us and things, I don't think that he realized some of the impact that it actually had on our lives and making us who we are today. And so I think that was like a little hard for him to go back in time and relive those moments that maybe weren't the proudest moments of his life. And I think he's evolved so much as a person and as a human and as a husband and as a father that, you know, to have to look back at what you did that wasn't the proudest moments of your life, it was a little
I mean, listen,
hurtful.
hindsight's 2022. We have to remind him, you know, like, these things happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like,
and it made us who we are.
yeah, and we're proud of who we are.
100%.
Like, we don't have like regrets about who we are
No.
as people. You know what I mean? I think we all turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Every one of us is a contributing member to society. We're all good people. We all have good hearts. Like, you did good. And not for nothing. I talk to Dad like 15 times a day. He's like my retired friend, which I absolutely love. He calls me for like recipes and shit. It's my favorite. If I don't hear from him, I'm like, where's my best friend? Or I'll just call him in the middle of the day. But we're very, very close. We talk all the time. You know what I mean?
Same.
So I felt bad that like he
Got
was
a little butthurt.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say he was butthurt. I think he was just kind of like disappointed in himself.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know?
But I think the point with him was like once he got over being upset about reminiscing about some of the times where he wasn't in his proudest moments.
He's proud of us.
Yeah, he is. And he realized that like although he probably would do things differently than he did, it made us who we are and we're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And so he's proud of us and what we're doing, and
He's here for it.
he is. He's our
like,
biggest fan.
Keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Do whatever you guys want to do, whatever you need to do. But he, you know, like he knows when to laugh at things. And there was just like, you know, a couple things that were just like, kind of made him cringe a little bit. But he's good.
And we don't want to hurt him ever.
We don't want to hurt anybody.
We love him so much. Yeah.
We're not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah, I
okay?
think that's a really important thing. Like, the purpose of this podcast is not to hurt anyone. And so even though we say things that are brutally honest, and we've said that from the beginning, like, this is us, this is our life, it's who we are, and we're going to talk about it because it makes us feel better, and we hope that it'll help other people with their situations too. So the point is not to be total assholes to everyone. I mean, maybe a couple of but definitely not to Dad. And so, yeah, it was a little hard to hear him hurt, I think, for me at least. I don't know how you felt. I'm sure probably the same.
I was very surprised.
I was surprised too.
I was like very taken back. I was like, I didn't expect that from you.
Luckily, we have Lucy, so
he's getting more and more sensitive in his old age.
We really didn't get into Lucy too much in the earlier episodes. Obviously, we talked about her a lot in the last episode, but it was more about us being assholes than her at all. She's never been an asshole to us, and I think she's been amazing through this whole process. Like, her feedback is similar. Like, she's proud of us. She wants us to keep going. She understands the therapy behind what we're doing and the positivity that we're trying to create. But I think, thankfully for her, like, she was there to help Dad when he had this like moment of like, oh my God, what did I do?
She like side texts us and she's like, I think he needs a minute. You guys are gonna have to like perk him up a little bit and just remind him that he's a good dad and he's done a good job. And we're like, of course. I mean, literally, we tell this to our dad all the time too. I mean, you and I are best friends, but he is my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I talk to him about everything and
I can
anything.
tell him anything.
No judgment,
Nope,
no nothing.
Nothing.
He's become such an amazing, amazing person.
He is our biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, if something great happens to me in my career, in my life, with my kids, he's one of the first people I tell.
Yep,
like,
absolutely.
He's always...
If something bad happens, if something good happens, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. He's always
know?
there for us. He's the best.
Yeah.
So that was a little shocking. I didn't expect him to feel some kind of way. I thought he was just going to be cool about everything because I know how much he's changed as a person. So to see him kind of get in his feels a little bit about some of the things that we talked about, I was like, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen.
You know what? We probably should have known that though, because he has definitely gotten more sensitive in his age, like as he's gotten older. He's like getting much softer.
Well, and his emotional intelligence has improved drastically from some of the stories and times that we're talking about. Like, he doesn't do these things anymore.
Yeah, clearly. Oh my God.
We don't see Steve very often anymore.
Rare. It's rare that I miss Steve sometimes.
I know. Oh my God.
I like when he tells me when he has his Steve moments though, like in like a
Walmart
there or something.
Yeah, and it's not to you.
I know.
Then it's okay.
Exactly. So that was really, I mean, that was surprising. Our siblings and step siblings there's been nothing but positive feedback.
Yep.
We did talk to our brother. He thought it was funny. He's liked what we've been doing so far. He's very defensive of our mom. He wants to make sure that her feelings aren't hurt in any kind of way. So he does say that. He was a little butthurt that I said he didn't know who would be president if the president got impeached.
Yeah, he's like, we called him together on the phone and he's like, I would know who would be the president if the president got impeached. And we're like, who?
He's like, the vice president. We're like, no. Read a book.
It's the president. The same president.
Yeah, the same president. Exactly.
He's like, really?
He's like, I think I have a lot more street smarts than you guys. I almost died when he said that. I was like, sure.
I'm like, I don't know about that. He was like, I was raised on the streets of Reedy Place. Reedy Place was like the ghetto of our hometown. So.
He said he would crip walk.
Oh my God.
Like, okay, that's cute.
That means
when he lived like even near that area with our mom, it was like he was probably 12.
Yeah.
Like,
it was not the nicest part of town, though.
No, and he wasn't crip walking. Like, stop.
God.
Grew up on the streets. Yeah. He's so funny.
He didn't.
He has a good sense of humor, though. He's able to laugh about this stuff with us, too, and he's been great.
And I think there's more to his input that we'll get, like, to his feelings about it. We'll get into that. But, like, I think a lot of people wanted to know if Lindsay was going to be upset about us sharing her pregnancy story, and she is not. This is her story. She is proud of it. She's a great mom, like we said. Like, and she's so chill and just like whatever about life.
Lindsay,
that like,
she's
a
like,
team player. Is cool. Yeah.
This is what it is. And also, Lindsay understood that we weren't sharing her story. We were sharing our experience of that story.
Right.
Okay? Like, you guys have to remember, we were all there when this happened. We all collectively helped raise this kid. You know what I mean? it's a miracle story, if you ask me, because considering her circumstances,
Yeah.
that could have gone really left. But it's our side of things, it's our view of things. So, it's what happened. And it's not a secret.
No.
Like,
And people, so some of you guys have asked us, like, why she's not a part of the podcast and why she's not here with us. And, we've said it before, but it's not really in her nature. It's not her personality to sort of, she's very quiet in public, where we're like loud assholes to everyone and we talk and say whatever we think whenever.
Right.
So to do this to us is a little more natural. I think she'd be uncomfortable in a forum where she's talking to the world, essentially. So
I agree.
but we'll have her on as a guest for sure.
It's not only like just not in her nature, but like for her to be in a situation like this where you're speaking so freely, it'll visibly be uncomfortable for her.
Yeah,
like
I think
you'll
so.
be able to feel the uncomfort with her. You know what I mean? She'll get a little awkward and uncomfortable, and we're not trying to make her uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So we'll have her on at some point.
Yeah,
and
when
we'll
she's
all laugh.
ready, she'll come in. She can tell her side of the story and
Absolutely.
how she feels. But she's been like so supportive of us.
She's been awesome.
Super positive. Yes. Step siblings, same. Everybody was cool, laughing.
Yep.
I know a bunch of the kids have listened, like our nieces and nephews and stuff, and they've been. I think Ben said something to Mark, our nephew. He was like, "They talked about me. They like me."
Yeah.
We're like, "Yeah, Ben, we like
love you, Ben. You're our nephew. We love you." That was hilarious.
He's funny. He's like, "I got a shout out on the podcast."
Oh, I love him. He's a good little egg.
He is. He's the best.
We had a cousin who was concerned.
Yep.
Definitely concerned. Mainly because, like, she's like a sister to us. So
She lived a lot of these crazy times with
yeah,
us.
lots of crazy stories with her. And she's like, oh my God, like, please, I'm an adult now. I have 2 teenage boys. Like, please don't.
Right.
And we're like, of course not. We would never, you know what I mean? But
No.
we totally had a nice conversation about it. It was really, she got to see where we're coming from and what our intentions are. And she knows that this is not like drag everybody through the mud type of a thing. This
I
is
think
like
when we put out our like social media to like hype everybody up and to get people ready for this to be coming, and we were like, nobody's safe because we're going to talk about every story that we really want to. It made a lot of people super nervous because they were like, what the fuck are they going to say about me?
well, some people have stuff to be nervous about.
This is true. This is true.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? But yeah, no, we've had good feedback. Our other cousins, we talked about Crystal and Mike, and they've been huge supporters. They've been great.
Totally.
They love it. Joey's been pretty funny. He sends a text like, so who's pissed? You know what I mean? Like, he's good.
Yeah.
All of our cousins
Our
have
cousins
been really
out in
good.
Texas, Jen and Renee, when we
Yep.
told like the funeral stories and stuff, there was like all kinds of feedback from them on YouTube and on Instagram. They're
Vouching.
Like, yeah, they're like, this is true. I was there. And we have
Absolutely.
another aunt just like this on other side of the family, and she's our crazy one. But they're like all here for it. You know, all the cousins have been amazing for the most part.
I think so too.
We haven't heard from a couple people, specifically Aunt Morphine.
Aunt Morphine hasn't said a word.
Not a word.
Nope.
Which I would have thought of all people who would like.
I thought she was going to show up at my front door with a gun loaded. I'm not even kidding.
I was expecting something.
Yeah.
We got nothing, which is fine.
That's fine.
Good.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I don't want to fight with her.
Just wait till like the next family gathering. That's when this shit will come out.
Ugh.
It'll be fine. More content.
Yeah. This is true.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, it was funny when we were talking about that episode, or not talking about it, but when Dad and Uncle Bob listened to the episode, they were like, I never really thought about it, but when like mom dies, their mom.
Yeah, grandma.
What the hell is going to happen? Like,
I
it's
know.
going to be insane. And it's kind of funny they never really thought about that. I'm like, are you serious?
I know, like we've been saying this to you guys for years. Like,
Really?
This is why she shouldn't be the power of attorney. This shit's gonna hit the fan. It's gonna turn into a train wreck.
Nobody thought about this?
I know.
Good Lord.
It's
Whatever. So, we have one aunt we invited to come on the podcast. She has not responded. We're under the impression she's not interested.
yes. Silence is deafening.
Sometimes saying nothing says it all.
Well, talking about the triplets and stuff, there's like trends and stuff on social media, TikTok and what have you, where like you can do these telepathy tests with triplets. So I think Dad and Uncle Bob would be so amazing at doing this. But we were like, let's bring all 3 of them in and just see what happens. We can do like a triplet test to see if they're like all in sync. Like you see some of these things happening. And so you're like, you guys want to come on? And both the boys were like, yes,
definitely.
Like Dad and Bobby were like, yeah, we're in. And she was like, crickets.
Yeah, no response.
And then
I followed up.
And
no response. The next thing we know, she did try to do a little sidebar meeting with Dad and Uncle Bob. Like, called like a private meeting with them.
To talk about, if it was like a family meeting she wanted to have.
Yeah, and they were like, there's absolutely zero control we have over this. So if it's not about Mom, don't fucking try.
Yeah,
it's not even worth it.
No.
It's not worth it.
Yep. Here's your chance. You can come on and talk about it if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Here's your forum.
Exactly.
You're welcome anytime.
Or come have a good time. Like, just come and have fun. How funny would it be to watch those 3 do that?
Oh my gosh. It would be amazing. This is why I really feel like we should do it. Like, again, we're not being assholes here. Like, we have nothing against her. She should so come. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
She never has a problem laughing with us at family functions anyway.
I know.
Like, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Let's see.
Our friends have been super cool. We've like had people from our hometown reach out to us that we haven't talked to in forever.
Years.
Yeah.
Years. And it's like so funny because a lot of their comments are like, this is amazing. So glad you guys are doing this. And like, it's like you're hype men. You know what I mean? Like, it's really cool to see the support.
I remember that day. Like, I was there when that happened.
Or you're taking me back in time. Like, oh my God, I remember when we would do X, Y, Z. One person actually sent me a bunch of pictures from when we were like 16, 17, 18 years old. And I'm like, oh my God, what a mess. I'm going to save these. We'll probably put them out, just so you know.
My favorite is Janelle, how she's like, I'm so glad I stayed on your good side all these years because you bitches are scary.
Janelle's like the best. She's so
such
supportive.
A man.
She's
Love
such
her.
a good girl like that. That's amazing.
No, it's been really very positive, I would say, overall, for the most part. We've had one minor issue.
Okay. So we expected this, but like I didn't expect it the way
not to the level.
Yeah, that it happened. So we're just gonna get right to it. Mom's not happy with us.
No.
But we're not surprised. Like,
and let's be honest, we've been like avoiding talking very much about her because we know she is sensitive. And we're trying to be respectful of her feelings and to be able to tell the story without getting it to a place where she looks some kind of way or feels some kind of way. So we've been very mindful, I would say, right? About
I think so.
How we've presented a lot of this information.
Yeah, I think very much so.
And so the first episode where we like laid the groundwork for everything, you know, we had mentioned some scenarios that occurred in the divorce. Some people took it literally. Others took it figuratively.
Yep.
Regardless of how it was interpreted or meant to be interpreted, she was not happy.
No.
So she sent us a text, and it said, basically in writing, do not ever talk about me on your podcast again. I'm obviously listening very well to that.
Listen, if you know Jessica, don't tell her not to do something. She essentially said, keep my name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Like that's...
Yes.
Literally, keep my name out of your mouth.
And then tried to fact check us on like certain things. And we're like, bitch, we don't care what you have to say. That's how we remember it.
Yeah, this is
like,
our way of...
Tried to drive home points of stories that we have told
that were
to
not
tell
correct.
Us that we're inaccurate. Yeah, and she's wrong.
It was incorrect.
But she's never
She
wrong.
was incorrect. So it is what it is. Either way, we have not heard from her other than that text. It's not like it's, you know, we pick up the phone, we're like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? I think she's pissed enough at us that this is gonna...
She's a grudge holder.
No one holds a grudge like her.
Oh,
no one.
It's been 6 solid weeks.
Yeah.
And she's starting to text me random
little
things
bit.
here and there. But
it's like, welcome back.
Yeah, but she's not happy.
No.
She's not speaking to us.
She went to your daughter's...
Wait, before we get into that, can we talk about how she like rallied the troops around us?
Yeah.
So she was mad.
And
Go
then
ahead, you tell this
actively
one.
like campaigned to like
turn other people against us.
Get other people upset. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, come on. First of all, it's not that serious.
No.
Relax.
Right.
All right? It's not that serious. So we started
and
getting...
we're not telling any stories that you don't tell anybody every day.
Oh my God,
anyway.
all the time.
Right.
Complete strangers. It's like the claim to fame. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
All right? But either way, we started getting texts from her siblings, whatever, basically saying how disrespectful we are. That was a horrible thing to say, and this, that, we're like, what did we even say that was so bad? Like,
I don't know.
Whatever. So we kind of ignored it because that's just what we do. But our one aunt, I was surprised. I think she got her arm twisted into sending something.
Yeah, I think someone took her phone and sent that text message because she's non-confrontational.
No.
And we love her, and we would never, I mean, we, like, again, like we said, our intention is not to say anything bad. It's just to tell our story. So for them to send us texts that is basically their version of a text message cease and desist.
Exactly.
Is like, really?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think we're going to say to hurt you? You're our family. We love you. Like, we wouldn't ever say anything
And let's be
bad.
honest, the majority of the craziest shit happens on the Lanive side. Come
It's
on,
true.
people.
I know, like, they know this.
They
Like,
know that too.
You've been here
Their
through all
sprinkle of
this.
crazy is a sprinkle of crazy. Like,
Right.
it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
We're like doing like heaps of crazy on
full
the other
on
side.
dump trucks.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
It's not that serious. Relax. Nobody cares.
No.
It's not that serious. And you're not that interesting.
No. Like, you weren't even on our radar. Now you are.
Yeah, now you are. You know what? If you knew better, you just be polite.
Yeah,
lay
or
low,
don't say anything.
say nothing.
Yeah.
If you really knew better, you just compliment us and walk away.
Right.
But whatever. Now we know.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, that wasn't very fun, but whatever. We've gotten a lot of support though from everybody else in our family. I don't think Grandma knows about anything. I don't think they're going to tell her anything that was said. I think they
Yeah, I don't think.
probably just
I
are
don't
like,
know.
she can't hear. You guys have to understand she's deaf.
Yeah.
She's like definitely deaf. She
No,
can't
she
hear
can't.
shit. She lost her freaking hearing aid.
Again?
Yeah. The woman goes from her apartment to the like cafeteria.
I don't know.
gotta be somewhere.
Someone stole it, probably another deaf old person.
Who knows? But yeah, so that's that.
Yeah. So my daughter got confirmed a couple days ago, and we're at church, and it was a Thursday night, so I didn't like make it a whole big to do because the time slot was from like 7 to 9 p.m. It was very inconvenient. It's long because there was like 60 kids, I think, making their confirmation. So I didn't want, like, you can't go out to dinner afterwards because of the way the time was. To do anything before, because they had to be there an hour early, was like crazy. So anyway, we kept it small. That's the point. It was my in-laws, my mom, because she lives locally, and that's who we invited to come.
Well, I was invited, and then you told me not to go.
Yeah, you were invited.
Same
Yes.
thing with all our other
Our
siblings.
siblings, yes, but I
then
told
she
them
was
not
like,
to
no.
come. It's not worth the drive. It's not worth sitting in church with a little one for 3 hours.
Listen, you don't have to tell me thrice, all right?
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, not worth it. Like, no. So my mom comes, and I'm glad she's there. This is during the period of podcast anger where she's not speaking to me. So I'm like looking over my shoulder, waiting for her to come into the church, and I finally see her, and I'm like,
Get over here, girl. Hey.
and she's like, she basically like looked at me, did the like,
no.
with her hand. No. And then went and sat in the same row of the pew at church as I'm in, but we were on the far left side and she sat on the far right side. And my best friend's family, who is another large family, and they're local, so everyone was there, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, what have you. So it's like us, this other family that's a big, large family, and then my mom at the far end of the pew, like by herself. And it was so weird. Other people are like, why isn't she sitting by you? Like,
just put on good face.
and I'm like, it's not about me. It's for my kid. Just whatever. I mean, I give her credit for coming if she's truly that mad, but like, then go sit somewhere completely different?
Yeah.
Not like in the same row where it's so obvious
Yeah,
that
we're
like
making
you're
like a scene
mad.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, not for nothing, but also this is a house of worship.
Right.
Maybe not.
Not the place.
Check that at the door. Save it.
Right.
Save it.
So after it ends, we all get up and she has a gift for my daughter. And we go into like the common hall area to have cake and take photos with the bishop and what have you. I think I keep saying what have you a lot.
The bishop.
The bishop, yes.
That's what my daughter calls a bishop.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, because she plays chess.
Yeah.
The bishop.
The bishop.
So we
And
go to
ponds.
take pictures.
Sorry.
Ponds.
Yeah, she told me when I was asking her, it's a total sidebar, when I was asking her about what she was learning in chess, she said something about there's pawns. I'm like, what the hell is a pawn? Oh, a pawn. A pawn. We live in New Jersey. Okay, pawn. All right, got it. And a fish up. Go ahead.
Pawn and the fish up. So we go to take pictures with the fish up, and I'm like, I see her. I go in, I give her a hug. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here, blah, blah, blah. I go, can I take a couple pictures of you with my daughter? And she's like, no. I'm just, no.
I can't believe she said no.
And she said no. And I was like, wow, grudge.
Oh, man.
This is a serious grudge. So I was like, all right. And so I go to get online with the bishop to wait for like us to take our photos, and she doesn't want to take a picture. And I noticed that she's talking to my in-laws. And so as she was talking to my in-laws, I grab Carly and I bring her around and I'm like, hey, you want to take a picture together? And she can't say no, of course, in front of my in-laws. Because what's she going to do? Be like, no, I don't want to take a picture with your kid on our confirmation day in front of them. She can't say that.
That's amazing.
So I snapped a couple pictures and she left and didn't say goodbye to me. And I texted her after. I was like, thanks for coming.
Huh.
No reply.
Nothing. Huh.
Yeah.
I think she started a new fam jam.
She did.
Yeah.
So Fam Jam is our family group chat.
Yeah. And well, she left the fam jam group chat a couple months ago after calling Jessica deformed and everybody being like, yo, that was bitchy.
Yeah.
That's not cool. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that. And yeah, I don't know. She said that there's too many people on it or whatever her reasons. Who knows? I think she just felt like she was getting ganged up on because everybody called her out for not being nice.
Well, she spam texts all day long.
Oh my gosh, we get more memes than we know what to do with.
My kids are on it.
I know.
They're like, what is wrong with her?
It's so funny.
Half the jokes they don't even get. I'm like, this is inappropriate to be sending to your grandchildren. Like, hello.
Oh my God. But then, I don't know, like a couple days ago, we got a new, like, family group chat.
Yeah, so I think maybe she's starting to ease back into things. She hasn't heard episode 4 yet, I'm sure, so
I don't
could
think
just
there's
get
anything bad in it.
it could get worse potentially. We'll see.
Listen, it should be fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's what we do. Everything's fine.
I know. Just laugh about it. Move
Oh
on.
my God. Just take it with a grain of salt. It's not the end of the world.
It's not, and it's really not that deep, right? Like, I mean, it is kind of deep because we're telling a lot of stuff that like happened, but it's over and done with. Like, it happened already.
Exactly.
Move on, learn from it,
Yeah,
grow, help other
exactly.
people who might be sharing an experience.
I mean, and it's okay to, I feel like, you know, Dad, for example, like when he looks back and he goes down this memory lane, he's not proud of himself and he like self-reflects. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if there's things that happen that you're not proud of, like when we were talking about what we did to poor Lucy, I
Oh
mean,
my
not for nothing,
gosh.
and every
Or
other
even just the
girlfriend.
dumb shit we did when we were
Yeah,
kids. Like, you learn.
Yeah, you grow, you reflect, and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
And-
do better.
Yeah, and you try not to make the same mistakes and
No.
you recognize it,
And
just
try to-
acknowledge it.
Try to understand your kids, I guess, too, so that you can like help them
Yeah.
to not make the same dumb mistakes and to learn things better. I think that was like
Absolutely.
a big reason for a lot of my rebellion is like she was such a high school cheerleader captain, never smoked a cig, never touched a drug, barely drank.
She told me she would steal a car before she'd smoke pot.
Yeah, so like
A
this
car!
but
Steal
then,
a car!
when that's the person directing your life as a teenager, you're like, this isn't how normal people, like you're the anomaly. God bless you, you did the right
Yeah.
things. Like,
Yeah.
that's great. But to be held to those standards, I think, made me just be like, well, there's no hope.
Yeah, you just go a little wild.
So I went a little crazy. Yeah.
Whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm not the head cheerleader.
you know what? We also weren't the worst of the worst.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there could be much worse that we could
Yeah,
have done.
we never went to jail. We don't have a criminal record. We never did anything horrible. Like, no one died, at
You
least that
don't
I
have
know
a
of.
criminal record because the girl didn't show up to court.
Oh, stop it.
It's true.
You are right.
Good
You got
times.
lucky.
Good times. We'll save that for another day.
Do you know that I actually just Googled how much punishment you get for a second-degree assault charge?
What do you got?
Oh, it's like jail time.
In
and, like-
Jersey?
Yeah.
You should have committed the crime in New York.
I feel like I
All they
just
do is get
shouldn't have
tickets.
committed the crime at all, but anyway.
Very soft on crime in New York.
I'm lucky I got out of that, for sure.
Thank God the girl didn't show up. I
Ugh.
wonder why she didn't.
I think she got
Eh.
pregnant.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I
She
heard.
got pregnant and that's why she didn't go to court?
Yeah. Yeah.
No shit.
Ugh.
With 2 black eyes and a broken nose.
I mean,
Good
don't
times.
call my friend fat.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. Oh my God, she got pregnant. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it was good for me.
it was probably good for her too.
I know. Ugh, that's a story for another day. You get the
Anyway.
gist. Oh,
So yeah, it's good to be open about these kinds of things. It's good to be able to talk about it. I'm glad Dad talked to us about how he was feeling about it and he was able to get that stuff off his chest. I wish Mom would talk to us a little bit more about how she's feeling. That would be nice.
Instead of being angry and shooting off text messages, which I think get misconstrued
Yeah, I
sometimes,
agree.
like just pick up the phone and have a conversation. And I think we can all align, hopefully. I mean, that's what I would. She's our mother. We love her. Like,
Of course.
we're not out to hurt her.
Let's just talk about it.
Right.
That, you know what, I think that's a big part of something from our childhood that I'm seeing, at least the pattern, and I'm sure you are, maybe other people are who are listening as well at this point, is there's a lot of things that just went undiscussed. And without those conversations, these other things happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So like sending a text and just saying, "Don't talk about me, keep my name out your mouth." I love that she said that, actually. I think that's so funny. But whatever. That's not going to like make the situation okay.
No, it doesn't help.
It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna make it good. It's probably gonna make it more bad. You know what I
Right.
mean? And not that I'm saying that in like a threatening type of way. I'm saying it like, why wouldn't you just call me up and be like, "Listen, it hurt my feelings if you said X, Y, and Z. Can we just not talk about that?" Or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I think too, people need space and time sometimes to digest some of the stuff that we're talking about, right? Because we are bringing up things from the past that weren't the greatest of times for different people for different reasons, right?
Right.
And I feel like I was giving that space, like
I
with
think
the
so, too.
anger, but now it's been so long that I'm like, it's been in such an extended period of time, and then the bitterness with what occurred at the confirmation, I'm like, this is weird now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what to do. I think at some point you and I are going to have to like reach out because
Listen, I'm fine with it. I just don't come at me. You know what I mean? Like, let's just have a conversation and talk about it.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
but this is my point. Like, there's a pattern of this at this point, if you've noticed. There wasn't a lot of conversation when our father remarried and when he was dating and moving people in and out and things like that. So there was a, reaction to that. There wasn't a lot of conversation about this whole thing in general
Yeah.
that we're doing, this
Right.
podcast. And now there's a reaction to that.
well, we are sort of figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we don't know what we're doing.
No.
I mean, we kind of, but not
Yeah.
really.
No, we're learning and we want to
learning.
get better. And that's the gist of all of this, right? Is that it's part of life. We went through it. We learned from it. We've gotten better. I think talking about it helps you heal even further. So communicating with the family openly, honestly, laughing together, it's important.
Well, I think our family also knows because we discuss these issues all the time. Like
Yeah.
we talk about these things all the time amongst ourselves and with our friends and
Yeah.
whatever. But my point is like we're all comfortable with it because we all know it's true and we
Yeah.
find humor as a really good coping mechanism.
It's true.
We like to laugh at things. I mean, especially dark things, rather than sit there and dwell or cry or whatever. Like that's not our personalities.
No.
You know what I mean? And our siblings know that. Most of them react the exact same way, where they have to laugh about it. They don't sit around crying about anything. Nobody does.
yeah.
Who sits around like, woe is me?
No one. And that's the point, right? Is that we're not here to hurt anyone, to cause enemies, to ruin people's lives. We're here to talk about things that impacted us, that have made us better people, and that we can laugh about, and that continue to help us just get better in life and be better parents and be better adults.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
I agree. And I think also this is like, I had actually said this to you before, but after listening to the first few episodes, I feel like we are in a very unique situation generationally where, and this is something we can get into deeper in another episode, but generationally, like we are the first generation to come from divorce. Like it's in the masses
Yeah.
and you experience it as children and then are now at this point adults. So like just the entire impact on your decision making and life from experiencing childhood to adulthood after going through that. And this is the first generation that can really talk about that openly. And like it's a new normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this wasn't a normal thing before. It wasn't like our parents came from divorced families a lot. Like for our grandparents or great grandparents to be divorced, that was like a scarlet letter. It wasn't normal.
No, that was like the anomaly. Yeah, where today it's like 50-50, I feel like. And so
you're basically planning on your escape.
Right. Oh, well, and that's society, right? Like you have these prenups and postnups and all these things where you're basically preparing
for the
because
worst.
It's going to end.
Yeah, there's a significant
when
chance it'll fail.
Right.
Exactly. But that wasn't ever the case before us. That wasn't normal before our generation experienced.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, but the boomers, you know what I mean? They started making divorce a more available option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's wrong with that. You know, some people shouldn't be together, some people should.
But they're also the ones that are the first to be angry about the social media and the openness and the discussion that our generation has decided to have to benefit our children so that they learn from history.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
it's
just really uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, it makes them very uncomfortable. It's that generation that has been the only ones, at least that I can tell, and I'm sure you would agree, that have had some kind of negative response or defensive response to what
it's a good
we're
thing,
doing here.
It's a good thing, I think, for our listeners to keep in mind. Like, if you do take something away from this and you're talking to your family, or you're gonna make an attempt at family dinner to joke about a story that was like a weird thing that happened in your life and try to heal together from it, is just be aware that that generation is not as open, I feel like, to certain conversations, at least some of them.
It's a different breed.
Like, Dad is very cool and different. He is way more open.
He's very open-minded.
Yeah.
Very open-minded.
Yeah.
Some people not so much.
No. You just, you don't know what you're going to get. And I think you got to just be sensitive and give people time.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody deals with it differently.
But hurry up already, because it's kind of like enough. Enough is enough. Listen,
I know.
This isn't going to go on for years, okay? Like, come on.
Yeah. So listen, keep sending us your comments, your feedback, your stories. Send us our stuff in our DMs. Like, if you want to share something that happened that's relatable, we could talk about it. We're happy to listen to other people, and we hope maybe that this is helping people, and we would love to hear more. So definitely share it on our social. As I mentioned last episode, we're going to be running some contests and things, so we're hoping that you guys will get more engaged with us. And I think that's it. Keep an eye out. We'll have prizes and different things going on.
Sounds good. Thanks again for joining us, guys. We'll have another episode coming for you soon, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.